This is Theoretical Thrills, the podcast where three hosts pitch original theoretical rides and attractions based on things they don't own. A special guest judge awards bronze, silver, or gold based on three separate categories: most creative, most practical, and guest's favorite. With bragging rights on the line, the hosts will try to pick each other's ideas apart through gentle ribbing. So sit back, relax, and stand clear of the moving doors as we present Theoretical Thrills.
Theoretical Thrills, the theory of the thrill.
Oh boy!
In 3, 2, fun!
Hello, welcome to Theoretical Thrills. I'm your host, Brad.
I'm Spencer.
And I'm Tauri.
And today we are joined by an amazing guest, Mr. Justin Michael Terry. How are you doing today?
I am doing very well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on here. So today we are doing Stargate. So I want to ask, before we ask your connection with theme parks, what is your connection with Stargate?
Well, I'm Roland Emmerich's nephew.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting any inheritance. About what was it, 2017, I was the co-writer of what is currently the most recent iteration of the Stargate universe, the prequel digital series Stargate Origins, which was then cut into a feature called Stargate Origins Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
And it was created more or less to get interest back in the show, and I hear that they're currently making one, so mission accomplished.
Oh, good job.
Yeah, really knocked it out of the park on that.
Yeah.
Are they gonna bring you back, or are they just gonna well, thanks for getting us interest back. We're gonna ride the coattails now.
Considering I learned about it by reading on the internet just last night, I'm guessing that I'm not in the room right now doing it. I am in fact here in the morning with you.
I mean, maybe they prestiged you. There's like another Justin Michael Terry out there writing all these shows, and they're like, man, it's like you never left. And you're just sitting on your couch like, man, no one's calling me. So weird.
And there's just money pumping into some guy's account and a clone sitting there just staring at a wall.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
To drown in a giant vat of water.
Full on prestige, not just the prestige clone. Full on.
No, they took it. Michael Caine is there.
What is your connection with theme parks?
I've worked at them.
Great.
Can you get a better connection?
Own it.
I was a French cop at Universal Studios, as well as one of the New York Windows actors. And I was one of these stunt fighters and live fire burn guys for the special effects show. And I currently, I honestly have no idea because no footage has ever been leaked, but I am the captain of a spaceship interactive adventure thing called Across the Dark at Lot World in Korea, which is like their Disney World.
All right.
So I'd say I'm pretty connected.
Here, there, and everywhere.
Let's jump into our Stargate episode then. Justin, you're going to hear three pitches from each of us based on the universe of Stargate for our Stargate land. The order is going to be Spencer, myself, and then Tauri. So without further ado, Spencer, take it away.
My Stargate pitches are based on my vast knowledge of Stargate. So I'm going to start with... well, I've seen every episode. I've seen every movie. That's a big lie. I haven't seen any of it. I don't even know what Stargate is about. But I'm going to go with
what
my
do you
pitches
think
here.
it's about?
So far, you've given me two very polar opposites.
So what I think of Stargate is I think it's like Star Trek with aliens, but like not in space, but like also they explore different. It's like if X-Files and Star Trek had a baby, kind of also like little Roswell in there. Like they solve mysteries and they like battle the bad guys and stuff.
Oh,
maybe a little Power Rangers.
Can I fill you in on a huge part of it that you're missing?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, it's military.
Well, that's helpful to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why it has such like a strong Republican male following.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only it's the only sci-fi show that's like strong military. It's also the second longest running sci-fi show in TV history.
Yep.
Behind Star Trek.
I haven't seen Star Trek either, so I mean, I'm working my way up there, I guess.
You're so hip. Let's go ahead and do your first pitch.
Hey, eventually we're gonna do the rom-com episode. You'll be all right.
I'm not a big fan of rom-coms either, so maybe I won't be. You know, I did all right with like.
Spencer has never seen a TV show in his life.
He doesn't even know what a TV is. The fact that he's on this podcast is just astounding.
I saw Pushing Daisies the entire series. Okay, thank you. All 22 episodes of that show.
Big commitment.
Wow.
So you mean the entire season?
No, I mean
the entire series.
It was 2 seasons. Thank you very much. So I'll just work my way down my list today. My first attraction is called Stargate. Stargate Water Adventure, a wormhole water coaster. So what this is travelers hop aboard a boat shaped like the outline of a puddle jumper. So, you know, the spaceship called a puddle jumper. As you travel through dark ride scenes, kind of like Small World or Jurassic Park at the beginning, exploring the Antarctic outpost and discovering locations of the lost city of Atlantis. So this is more like the Stargate Atlantis series. Only to stumble upon the wormhole, where guests then go on an underwater journey traveling through the wormhole, ending in a big splash of a drop at the end of the wormhole, reconstructing guests back to their original form. So what I mean by this is, it's like you're going into another dimension, and there's like, you know, like in the Jurassic World, how they have like, when you go through the first part, there's like the aquarium kind of looking things, and you're seeing the effects. So the wormhole is kind of covering that, and you're kind of going on like a fast water journey through that. It's just a wormhole covering, and then you go into a big drop into darkness. You get reconstructed back into the world of Stargate. So it's a water coaster with where you jump into the wormhole.
So you're taking a Stargate from Atlantis just to the same Stargate in Atlantis. What?
It's just the Atlantis themed water coaster. That's all it is.
Well, it sounds like he starts in the Arctic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Antarctic outpost.
Yeah. There was a gate found there. Do you know what galaxy the Atlantis is supposedly located?
No, the big galaxy, the Milky Way.
Not the Milky Way.
It's
The
pretty
nebula. The nebula.
Does this help?
The horse galaxy.
Close. Put them together.
Yeah. But what's his hands doing?
Bird horse.
Keep going.
Bird horse fly. Bird horse fly. Horse fly.
What did Perseus ride?
Centaur?
What? No, not in his private life. To rescue people.
Yes. No, not a spaceship. Who's Perseus? He's a Greek guy. I should know this.
Flying horse.
You know.
Yeah.
It's a horsefly. Yeah, that's close enough. Flying horse, horsefly. It's a
horsefly.
You're my favorite person ever.
Amazing.
Thank you. I strive to be the favorite.
I heard you got a $30 tip last night.
Well, it was 26.
Oh,
who's counting?
I mean, it's money. You should be counting it.
I mean, yes, I should be.
All right, so you have a water roller coaster ride.
It's a lot cooler in my head than the way I explained it.
That's not how we pitched.
I know. I'm just saying it's an immersive experience.
You're just in a theme park ride. You're in a tunnel.
Brad, it's like a book, you know. You give the audience just enough to like imagine and fill in the blanks, you know.
Well, I'll tell you what I like about it is the like going through the Stargate is one of the most exciting visuals in cinematic history.
I agree. I feel like it's a great one.
Do you get wet on the ride?
So yes and no. You know how like in the Jurassic Park ride when you go on the big drop, like front seats get like really wet, and like farther back you don't get as wet, but you get a little spritzed. or like on the Secret Life of Pets ride where you get a little spritz when you're going through the bath soapy thing. It's like that. There are some guests who are going to get a little spritzed because obviously you're underwater in Atlantis, so you got to get wet, right? Because otherwise, what's the point of being underwater if you're dry? Unless you just are just a dry underwater
point of breathing
person.
If you're...
So I think it's going to be like with that. There's going to be like a little, mist and stuff. But then when you go on the big drop, people in the front will obviously get really wet, and then people in the back won't get as wet.
I kind of wish that's how the actual Stargate worked. Like people who walked through first were just drenched. And
then you're the last guy coming through, and everybody's just, what happened to you guys?
Oh, we were up front.
What's the name of this ride?
What did I say? It's Stargate Water Adventure, a wormhole water coaster.
Wormhole water coaster.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could also just call it
that first part.
You could also just call it Stargate. Wow, World of Wormhole.
World of Wormhole.
Yeah.
I assume you meant wormhole.
Yeah, wormhole. I couldn't get it out. Wormhole. World of Wormhole. That's hard to say really fast.
World of Wormhole is my favorite part.
Yeah, World of Wormhole.
Or it could be like
Perseus and his centaur.
Or Stargate. Stargate. Wow, Wormhole of Water. Right, like that also would work.
Okay, what is pitch number 2?
So that's a wormhole water coaster, full of warm and cold holes.
Yeah, I heard it.
My next pitch is Stargate SG Fun, an improvised stunt show. So how this works is I basically said if Impro's improvised Star Trek and Universal Studios Hollywood Waterworld had a baby with a little special effects stages mixed in, it would be this show. So in this sort of, it's like a choose your own adventure show. Let me explain. So in this sort of interactive show, at the beginning of the show, like any improvised show, the cast tells the audience that throughout the show they will offer choices for how characters interact, where the storylines continue, what stunts should be included, etc. This allows the cast to maintain safety in stunts through a relatively structured improv story that changes based on audience's suggestions, making the show a completely different experience, different performance each show. So basically it'll be like, oh wow, the aliens are coming. Should we zap them with our lasers or should we jump into the lake? And then the audience will choose like, oh, we should jump into the lake. Okay, and then you do that stuff. So it's a choose your own adventure, like Waterworld, themed to Stargate. So the basic structure is the same as the show, but audience input changes how the show unfolds.
So you're gonna have, for safety, you're gonna have your stunt performers not only have to memorize a show, but then multiple versions of the show that could occur.
No. So that's where the safety part comes in, right? So it's a structured improvised show. So basically the whole storyline is the same. So when it gets to that point of like, should we jump into the lake or should we not jump into the lake? That is going to be the same beat every time. So the stunts are essentially going to be the same. They might rotate when those are happening. Like, should we jump into the lake the beginning or should we jump into the lake at the end? But the stunts are going to be the same for safety. They just may rotate or they may not get chosen. If it's like, should we drop kick this person or should we push them into the ocean? Some people might say push them in the ocean. Some people might say drop kick. But the story itself, the actual characters and like, whatever's going to change. But overall, the stunts are going to be in the same spot each time. There's going to be an option of 2. So the people who are doing that will know like, oh, it's either going to be jumping in the lake or drop kicking the bad guy. So it's structured in that way, but the actual storyline, maybe some of the characters might swap out or whatever will change based on audience input.
I'm gonna give you a rough note. So hold on. One thing that doesn't go well with like stage combat is stopping in the middle of it to debate. So if it and I know that if it's in a place the size of like the Waterworld exhibit, is that what it's called? Exhibit?
Arena? Stage?
Yeah, because all the actors are in cages being watched.
Yeah. Essentially, it's a cageless cage, a barless cage.
Top the fence.
Yeah. But because there they have to go by like section. So it's like, what does this side want? Yay! What does this side want? Yay! That feels like it would take like a minute and a half to make a choice.
So
and then by then they've cooled down and then suddenly have to ramp right back up into the fight. Might be chaos.
So it would essentially work one of two ways. Either there'd be like, like that hype person who's like, oh, maybe coming up there might be a battle. Should they drop kick or whatever? And then like the audience will vote on it. But I think what it would be is like in the moment it's like, oh no, we gotta get rid of the bad guy. How should we do it? Should we drop kick him and punch him in the butt, or should we push him into the ocean? And then we'll say, if you want him to be pushed into the ocean, scream now. If you want him to be drop kicked, scream now. And it's like, oh, I think we're gonna drop kick you. Here it comes. So it's gonna be like whatever one the crowd feels is louder.
Extremely. So there's just gonna be this.
It's gonna be pretty obvious for the stunt purpose, but also it's gonna be a quick like.
1 second. Should I drop kick him or should I maybe slap him in the face?
I'm going to.
Okay, all right.
I got a fix for this. You have everybody vote before they even get in.
That was something I actually thought about, and then I was like, that feels like a lot of extra work.
No,
well,
make it a digital app. They can vote on that
whole.
Yeah, I wrote down the possibility of using an app.
Yeah, and the whole time they're sitting there while people get sprayed with water and they waste time, they're putting in their votes. And then you just have it on a screen in real time as it's happening. And it's just like, this side won that while the fight is like taking place. And it's like, yes, he punched him in the butt. I voted for that.
Yeah, and you could do something like Jackbox TV does where you get a room code essentially. So when you go to the show, the code that
changes,
for that show will be there so that anybody in the theater can do it. That keeps you from getting just people outside of the park just randomly.
Yeah.
This brings up an excellent point though. Justin, you're judging giving these awards based on the initial pitches. So this whole having an app to vote, having the whole app to vote, Spencer didn't pitch that. Spencer pitched hey, let's go ahead and have a pause. Let's cheer to see what we want to vote.
It's a slight pause. You're exaggerating it like it's like a 20-minute event. It's like,
what's your third pitch, Spencer? Do you have a third pitch?
I sure do. Why would I not? I got to really make sure I have chances to get points here. So my third pitch is, of course, you can't have a theme park without food, right? So why not have a cafe full of Stargate stuff? And I call it Stargraze, SG Yum Cafe. So this is a cafe.
Just going to give you awards based on the names of your...
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we'll
Journey
find out.
Into the wormhole.
Well, after you have a nice meal at Stargaze SG Yum Cafe, you can just go into the wormhole, and then enjoy it. Anyways, it features a collection of fun and exciting foods based on the Stargate series, including alien pumpkin, apricot jubilee, barbecued space deer, fruities. But also some fun little pun names because no cafe is complete without puns.
No, hold on, back it up. Barbecued space deer. What is that?
It's barbecued space deer. It's like like meat and it's barbecue. But
it's a deer from space, bro.
It's
come on, Brad.
It's literally like
event her venison.
Yeah, but wait till you get to the puns because I can't have a restaurant without puns. So we've got Casa, like the evil Orville Redenbacher, is actually Cassandra, based on the character Cassandra in Stargate. We also have Carl Stromboli, based on Carl Strom. And my personal favorite, Replicator Tots, because it's tater tots based off of the replicators. So Replicator Tots. And this is all in Stargraze SG Yum Cafe. So that's my third pitch, is a restaurant full of fun and full of pun.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't the replicators like nanobot based?
The point is, it was a name that represents the rhymes with cater. So,
we're gonna give you tater tots.
I could also make it nanobots. They could also be replicator waiters. I mean, like they can be people who are like servers. And we can call them replicator waiters. I mean, that's not a big deal.
I like the name replicators.
Yeah,
replicator tots. Yeah, replicator tots.
I like
you
the
can
name.
press them into like robot shapes, and you're like,
they can be robot shapes. I was thinking they'd have like if they're like metallic or whatever, you'd have like edible glitter kind of mixed in with it.
Huh. We have enough plastic in our bodies. That's fine.
I didn't know edible glitter was a thing until like last week, and I was like, this is legitimately a thing. Like, there's actually edible glitter.
I didn't know that either. Is it for
I
like
didn't
sprinkling on girls' bodies at raves?
Yep.
No, it's for like putting into like drinks, but like I didn't realize that there's actually something called there's actually edible glitter, and I was like, what?
Put it in the pitch.
It's a thing.
So those are my pitches, of course.
All right. Just a quick recap. Just the 3 titles of your pitches. You don't have to do the descriptions. Just the 3 titles.
Sure. So the 3 titles are Stargate Water Adventure, a wormhole water coaster, Stargate SG Fun, an improvised stunt show, and Stargray's SG Yum Cafe.
Really like that SG1.
Are you worried that Star Grays will make people feel like cattle and fat?
I did think about it, and I was like, I really just wanted to have a word with like a G. I don't think people are going to worry about it too much. I think they'll be like, oh, that's funny. It's a joke on Stargate.
Okay. What about Star Grub?
Star Grub kind of works, but it's not as like, it's not the A.
Star Gourmets.
I don't like that.
It could have been if it was Star Gourmet and you actually pronounce the T, then it would make sense. But you don't pronounce the T in gourmet. It's not gourmet. Because then it'd be Star Gourmet. But then it's almost too much. But I think the SG Yum is really what sells it.
Star Great?
SG Yum.
I thought of Star Great.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, cheese. That's what I was thinking. I literally was like, oh, SG Great or Star Great. But then I was also like Star Crunch Cafe. But then I was like, that's weird because why would I just have Star Crunches in a cafe? But
yep,
so I really thought about this. I really thought about this one.
All right, so that brings us to the end.
I googled synonyms for cafe and restaurant and came up with
pitches.
What are they called in France or in the French Quarter?
Star Grays. Nope, that's not a French accent.
I think they're called cafe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, so my 3 pitches. Here we go. So I actually have seen Stargate.
Yum. That's what they would
all
call
of it?
Not all of it. I'll be honest there. I'm not gonna lie.
Did you watch Stargate Origins? That's the only thing that matters. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
I don't have a Stargate subscription.
That's true. You needed one of those.
Just for Stargate Origins.
So I'm waiting for the inevitable release to Blu-ray or digital
Netflix
digital purchase.
It's gonna have a limited Laserdisc release.
Oh, okay. VHS.
Yeah, we're hoping.
So my first ride is called Expedition Stargate. Now this is going to be a launch coaster with a ride vehicle designed like the cargo transport that they used in the film, the first thing that they send in into the Stargate before
that little boxy robot,
the little like boxy thing. So that you're gonna hop on this is gonna be your coaster. It's gonna be a roller coaster that's a dark launch coaster, so it's gonna be an indoor launch coaster with some lighting effects to give you the illusion that you're going even faster and you're traveling through this wormhole through this Stargate. The big thing about this is I want to have one overarching loading station designed like the military lab in Colorado, where at the beginning people will be able to choose if they're going to Abydos, the Egypt area, the Atlantis, Pegasus area, or if they're going to the Stargate universe. So there's be sort of 3 sections, 3 queues that you can get in. Sort of like you would get in Dueling Dragons, you get in the red dragon or the blue dragon. You could choose your queue there. Similar idea, you're going to choose your queues, except each of these roller coasters will end at their proper location. So all the exits will be near each other so that they all end up back on the same track to come back through because it's all indoors. But when you're getting off, it's going to feel like you're getting off at Abydos, the Egypt area, and you're then walking the path into that little section, or you're getting off in the Atlantis area and walking the path to that little section. So that's how we're going to do this sort of unloading before they come back and the tracks come back around. So this way, it sort of gives you the feeling like you're taking the Stargate to the other parts of these lands. I really like as I've done in previous episodes, I really like the idea of using a ride as a way to transport you to this other world. So we're going to use the theme music. I mean, you have to have it play as you enter the Stargate. And as far as the Stargate...
and through the entire wait line.
And through the entire wait line, it's just constantly playing.
Yeah. So by the time you get on the ride, you're like, thank God.
and
then it continues to play on the ride.
Then for the Stargate, we're going to use a mixture of water, mist, smoke, and projection to give a sort of Stargate effect that you're going through, sort of like Pirates of the Caribbean did with Davy Jones.
Yeah.
So we're going to use... I want to use something like that for the Stargate that you're going to launch through into the thing. So that is my first ride, a inside launch coaster called Expedition Stargate.
How fast we talking with a launch coaster?
I'd say this one would probably go about between 50 and 60 miles.
So hot. Love those speed coasters.
Spencer, you have a question?
I just now realized, it's not a question. I just now realized that when you meant flying horse, you just meant a Pegasus, and that would have been a lot easier to just describe to me.
Yes.
I know I know what Pegasus,
centaur?
Pegasus, one sus, Pegasi.
Yeah.
Pegasus.
Any other questions?
Pegasiri?
No, I didn't have a question. I just, the whole pitch, I didn't really pay attention because I was trying to figure out that you meant Pegasus for flying horse.
Thanks, Spencer.
Because you said flying horse, and I was like, oh, you mean Pegasus. So out of context, I figured it out.
Nice.
Good job. I like the pitch. What I heard of it was nice.
Thanks.
It was okay.
Something about like Egypt.
Thanks, Spencer.
You're welcome. No complaints here. No problems here.
Now, if they go to the Stargate universe, that technically takes place on a ship that's flying through space forever.
Yeah.
How does that translate when they get there?
Does the ride end?
No, it's just gonna be it'll have to be an all indoor section.
Did you hear that? I said, does the ride end? And the first word Brad said was no.
Yeah, it's infinite loop, baby. Whoever starts their day there ends their day there.
Does the ride end? No. He said, does the ride end? He said, no. What you do is...
Oh my gosh.
Just keep that in mind when you're judging these pitches at the end.
Twist my words. You cannot
that this ride never ends.
You would get off on the spaceship section, and that sort of land would be more of an completely indoor land. Whereas the other two, I could have a little bit more. Especially
when you say that they show up at the land, is it really like exiting through a themed gift shop? It's just like, I want to buy something at the Atlanta shop, so I'm going to.
It's an unthemed. Well, it's an unthemed gift shop. It's just whatever.
It's a themed gift shop into a sort of mini land. So like my overarching land is you have the coaster, and then it sort of branches into 3 sections.
Okay.
This is like that Star Wars area.
Yeah, kinda. And then you'll have
it's like an interactive whole chunk
and for handicap accessibility and just ease to go between the lands once you're over there, so you don't have to keep getting back in line for this roller coaster. There will be little stargates between the lands, like just tunnels that you can walk
with
little wormholes. Can they be little wormholes between? You just go through a wormhole and you're in another section. That'd be kind of cool.
Yes, Tauri.
I have a logistics question.
Yes.
So if this is like a speed coaster and it's also supposed to be kind of like a monorail, how do people, like, let's say I show up with all of my family and one of those people is a baby and I have a stroller. Like, how does my stroller and my baby get to the other destination if I'm taking this monorail? Or do I just leave my baby with my other family and I'm like, I'll meet you guys there, and then
just leave the baby?
Well, if you like I said,
how many families do you have?
For handicap accessibility. For
All right, kids, see you later. I gotta go on this ride. See you later.
There will be the sort of walking path, which could be a moving walkway. I like that addition, but there will be a walking path, a way to get back to the land so that you don't have to do the roller coaster. The roller coaster is just for the complete immersive experience. The roller coaster is the route you would want to go if you could.
Right. Yeah.
Instead, you won't get as exciting of a trip.
I mean, the way it makes sense to me is I've never taken a roller coaster that's ever taken me that far away from where I began. So
it could be an adventure.
So even if you
the walk wouldn't be that far away.
Yeah, even if you left your stuff there, like it's not going to transport you to the other. It's not taking me from the top of Universal Studios.
Well, then what's the point?
Yeah, seriously. Stargate is supposed to take you across the galaxy.
Yeah, which galaxy? The Flying Horse Galaxy? The Pegasus Galaxy?
Yeah, this is going to take you. This is
the Candy Bar Galaxy.
This is going to take you almost across state.
Galaxy Quest.
It's a long roller.
Yeah, you're going to have a hard time getting back to your stuff. So
if it's still there
on the ride.
If someone didn't already take those expensive diapers already.
Yeah, because there's also tons of thieves in the Stargate universe.
Well,
I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe there are.
There won't be any loops, so you'll be able to have the little pouches in the front, right in front of you that you can stick stuff in.
Stuff all those diapers and the little.
So stuff all the diapers. Start sparsing it out. It out. All right, so that brings me to my second pitch. If there are no more questions, my second pitch takes place in my Egypt Abydos area called the Wrath of Ra stunt show. So I did do a stunt show as well. Join O'Neill, Jackson, and the rest of the crew as they take the fight to Ra to free Skara, Shari, Kasuf, and the other enslaved humans.
Can you repronounce that for me? I don't know Stargate very well. Can you pronounce that for me again?
I can't. I wrote it down.
Like I'm gonna be able to see.
You notice how I even skipped over trying to say gold.
Yeah.
That's okay. Continue your pitch. At least I pronounced all my words right.
Gold.
So anyways, it's gonna be a stunt show, an action stunt show, I'm thinking sort of Indiana Jones style stunt show. I feel we're going to watch as the military battle sort of takes place as the O'Neill and Jackson and the rest of the crew are there to rescue you, the audience. You are the human, so you're going to be led into the theater by some of the Gould. That's where you're going to be led into the theater as you're like captive. You're going to watch the show. It'll be a presentation with Ra, and then that's when we have O'Neill and all the military crew come in to save the day with a big epic battle, and then you are saved and released to escape the theater at the end.
Rather than being trapped, I think you have an easy and recognizable in for anyone who's seen the movie by having them go in because of the sandstorm that's coming. And then they all sit down, and then there's like the quiet moment where they go through, and then the like Horus and Anubis like come out, and there's like that fight scene, and then you just escalate and bend reality to bring Ra into it, have it snowball from there.
That's a great fix. That's a great fix. I also wanted to point out I was nodding along like, oh yeah, the sandstorm. Like I knew what was happening.
That's what originally gets them to go into the pyramid where they encounter their first fight in the movie.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because it takes place on a desert planet.
Yes.
Spencer.
Wait, what? I thought they were in space.
They are. It's a desert planet, baby.
So that's my second pitch, my stunt show. My Wrath of Ra stunt show.
What is Ra? Who is Ra? What is Ra? Wow, where is Ra?
Ra is a
Egyptian
Gould,
sun god?
Is the Egyptian sun god, represented by the eye. And it was the main villain for the movie.
Ah, okay, great. Now when I watch it, I'll know.
Yeah. Played by the same person who was was in the Crying Game, if you've ever seen that movie.
Yeah. Jay Davidson?
Johnny
Jade-
Depp.
Oh
Davidson
yeah,
or Davidson?
that's a
Maybe, yeah.
yeah, the crying game. Yeah, I know the twist in that, so I don't feel like I need to watch that.
Well, too
Yeah,
bad,
I
because
just-
that's going to be the next episode.
I
A theme
also-
park based on the crying game.
I also thought of Stargate, and like, what if you thought about it, like, instead of it being Stargate, if it was like a sun fence? Like, what if, like, you rebooted it but just changed it to daytime instead?
Pitch 3 is going to take place in my Atlantis area. It's called Hunted. Now, there's a very popular character introduced in the second season of Atlantis called Ronan, played by Jason Momoa. So I'm going
Make
to
that money.
capitalize on the Jason Momoa fan fest and have a dark ride called Hunted. So the premise is that a tracker's been placed on our guest, and Jason Momoa's character Ronan is going to help you escape these hunters. And the way you're going to escape is you're going to load into an Atlantean cargo vehicle. I love my cargo vehicles. But it's going to be designed. I want it to be. Ronan's going to help smuggle you to safety, and so it's going to be
like Indiana Jones.
It's going to be a dark ride. It's going to be a dark ride. But you're going to be in like a futuristic looking crate with gaps that you'll be able to see through. So you'll have a more limited view, but you can have a full sort of 360 view. Like you can turn all the way around to see behind you as you're being smuggled. And there'll be times where it'll stop and you might see like people walking by, trying to find you, and stuff like that. So this is going to be Hunted, the dark ride. That's pretty much what I got.
I appreciate the effort. My concern is, do you think you'll get pinged for making entertainment out of human smuggling?
Hey, at least you got appreciated for your effort. That must feel great.
Look, it might, but I think if you really want to feel like you're being hunted, we're just gonna have to go with it. And
Who wants
this is
feel
good.
that way?
This is good. This is good human smuggling. This isn't the bad human smuggling.
Maybe
Smuggling you
like
out from the bad guys.
maybe you add like a disclaimer,
Think
or
of it
like
like reverse smuggling.
you have like human trafficking pamphlets at the end. You're like,
And you know that everyone who's ever been trafficked has heard that same thing. It's like, we're going to get you away from the bad guys. You're just going to have to work this off for the rest of your life.
Okay, this one doesn't take place in Egypt though, right? This is in Atlantis,
this
where
is
there's a
in
lot of
Atlantis.
water.
Yeah,
So where are these people coming from? Are they coming from like land
from the roller
in
coaster that
Atlantis?
dropped them off there.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's very similar to your first ride. It's like
This is a ride into a ride.
yeah.
So
It's like you launch into Hunted, the ride, launch coaster into Hunted.
So you go into if you get off at the Atlantis station, you there's the gift shop and a little bit of Atlantis area, and then the ride Hunted.
I think it should be called a depot.
Is the main attraction in this area that you'll be able to queue up and go through.
Atlanta
Are you-
Depot.
Are you going to have like a Jason Momoa character actors?
Oh my gosh.
No, just Jason Momoa.
I'm going to super bombard this with Jason Momoa. It's going to be character actors throughout the queue. It's going to be Jason Momoa shirtless, Atlantean looking, like giving presentation. Like I want to do like the 3D sort of effect that they do for Disaster. The ride that they did for Disaster at Universal Studios with Christopher Walken on that, so where it feels like he's sort of walking there. I am going to the whole point of this is a marketing scheme for me to capitalize on Jason Momoa.
You could probably get Vin Diesel to do something.
I don't want Vin Diesel.
I just like how mad all the other actors from Atlantis are gonna be. They're gonna be like, he came in second season, like we built this city literally, and you just capitalizing on Jason Momoa.
But did they build it on rock and roll? That's what I want to know.
Oh hell yeah!
What's going to be the worst is the actor that Jason Momoa replaced, because he came in and actually took over a role that was already in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
What?
So that actor's gonna be the Rufus Sewell in The Illusionist. He's just gonna blow his brains out when he sees the world that was created.
Rufus Sewer. Instead,
I like to imagine he actually just hangs out in the park, being like, I was in this show too. Yeah, hey,
oh my god.
Yeah.
Hey, Jason Momoa in Stargate Atlantis?
That was me. That was me in season 1.
He's my understudy.
So those are my 3 pitches. I had Expedition Stargate, Wrath of Ra Stunt Show, and Hunted the Dark Ride.
Okay. Those were pitches.
Yeah.
All right.
They're all like kind of combined in the same world, I feel like. That was helpful.
What do you think we're trying to do here, Spencer? It's the Stargate universe.
Right.
I'm trying to help you, Brad. Jeez Louise.
Don't help me, because I don't think it's helping me. I think it's
super helpful. Keep helping Brad. All right.
I'm gonna help you too. Just you wait.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Tori, something tells me you're gonna knock this out of the park.
Hey, I just my pitch is an area where people just watch the movie. No.
Okay, that's pitch number 1.
No.
So Screen Town.
All right, so I'm going to try to paint a picture. So my first attraction is, you guys have talked about Brad's monorail type thing, and Spencer had his water coaster, but I want balls to, I want people to feel what it's like being in a Stargate. So this is called 7 points, because you need the 7 points in order to make a gateway open. Hell yeah.
A Stargate is a portal.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And so the current record for the fastest roller coaster is 149 miles per hour. The highest is 456. Yeah, exactly. So I want the best of both of these worlds. I'm going to combine the fastest and highest roller coasters. There are going to be loops. There are going to be spins, and
King
part
of
it, huh?
Tallest one's King Ka?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
And so the first part is going to be inside like a tunnel that allows you to kind of feel like you are just starting your journey. So when you're going up the height, you get the little interchanging colors, and you get the star design right before you blast off down and through the swirls, the whirls, and the twirls. There's going to be a few instances of like
all 3.
All 3. This is going to be crazy. If my intent is that if you're not throwing up by the end, I haven't done my job. B part.
Wow. Well, that lost you some points.
Stargate.
I got some fried deer at Stargraze, and
but my question is so there's like a sound for the portal. Is that how Stargates work? There's like a sound like when you go through it?
No, it's completely dead silent.
Yeah, there's no sound.
Really?
Like there's kind of like a whoosh, like when you're basically when they do the deatomization. But mostly the sound that people know is it opening, where you have the splash of water that comes out and then it reforms into the portal. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So that will be how the ride opens, is like you'll have that sound and it'll be like right.
And then the coaster's like
hell yeah.
Just takes off.
Yep.
Never
and
mind
like
clink 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 clink.
Yeah, no, they're just gonna stifle that.
That's when they play the theme music.
Oh, right. The theme music, and then because it'll be kind of inside of a nice little tunnel, so you'll be seeing like all the stars as you're passing by, just to kind of distract you from the clink clink clink, and then the whoosh.
Maybe overplay some of that dialogue of like Kurt Russell talking to James Spader, where he's just like, "Well, you gotta walk through the wormhole, Doc," something like that.
Yeah, it'll be everyone.
Wait,
he's
like
the
all
worm
the
guy.
memorable quotes.
Wait,
so
no,
much like
worm
Doctor
guy,
Who.
Worm guy was Godzilla.
This is nothing like Doctor Who.
No.
You just said Doc, so I just assumed it was like Doc. There's portals and doctors and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
So when here's the thing, Spencer. When someone gets a PhD, in a subject, they become a doctor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm aware. I have a master's.
Or if they have a medical degree, they become a different type of doctor. So this is a PhD doctor.
Yeah. But if you're in the military, it's customary.
A TARDIS.
Yep.
I don't know anything about Doctor Who either, so that's not going to help me.
Okay.
It's the phone booth.
Yeah, no, I know that. Remember, I had to describe what it sounded like 3 times on that episode.
I was on that episode.
Yeah, you were.
It's
so
splashing water, and then a whoosh,
and then a
All right, so you have anyway. You're making a super tall, super fast roller coaster. This indoor outdoor.
It is outdoor because you couldn't do indoor roller coaster that goes that high.
Without changing the theming, because you have to in alert planes there's a big building right here with a big giant red thing.
Yeah, unless you built it inside of a gigantic pyramid.
Right.
And then just put a red
which might be a clever idea.
Put a red
and the pyramid would just have to be 500 feet tall so that you could go up as high as you wanted to go.
Seems like an easy build.
Yeah,
I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, but
building
this
in the world. Let's put a roller coaster in.
Yeah. Rome wasn't built in a day, but this could be.
Right. And I feel like people would ride it just for the clout. Like when they released the Superman ride that was like the highest in America, and it just basically goes whoosh super high and then comes back super.
Yeah, it's kind of terrifying, but it's fun. It's super
right.
dope.
So I feel like that would be the main appeal of this, is that you get to feel like you're actually in a Stargate, but also you get to ride it for the clout. You get to go on Insta and be like, I didn't throw up. Ooh, yeah, I'm cool. Look at my constitution. I rolled a natural 20.
Wait, yes? if this is outdoor, how are you doing these light effect things that you were talking about?
Nighttime only.
No. Like the beginning part is in there's a tunnel built around.
Oh, like the Hulk at Universal Orlando.
Like the Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like that.
Or like part of Goliath.
Or the Incredicoaster.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that ride.
California Adventure.
Totally.
Okay.
All of these.
Actually, I loved all of those rides.
So that's my first pitch. And then my second attraction, I wanted to do we're all cool with Atlantis, so I wanted to do a water park that has a one of those raft rides, the ones that are super splashy, where you so it's called the Purple Jumper.
The River Rapid raft rides.
Yes, exactly. So it's going to have that, and also just like a nice what do they call those, lazy rivers? It's going to have one of those as well. And it'll be a nice place that you can kind of drop the kids off. I don't know if you guys ever went to Great America, but they had a toon splash town, like a Nickelodeon toon splash town that you could just it's like a basically jungle gym and water park. What's up?
Did you drop the kids off?
That's what I was gonna say. You just drop the kids off at a water park?
All right, see ya, bye.
You put them in a lazy river and then come back after a couple revolutions.
I've got 2.5 hours to kill. Have fun, kid.
I don't know if you can swim. Here you go.
Maybe it's because I'm a latchkey kid, but from the time I was 8 and on, my parents would just go, cool, meet me back at this location after you're done doing your rides, and then I just run off and do what I want at the theme parks. So is that not a regular occurrence?
The last thing that kid's gonna see is being in a box that he can see 360 degrees. Traveling to safety.
So you're pitching a whole water park as your second idea, is that correct?
It's a water park section, in the same way that
it's like Super Silly Funland's water for kids zone. It's like a water zone. It's like a splash zone.
But it has a small little lazy river and
a big old lazy river and a big old river rapids.
Yeah.
So two big rides and a little kids playland.
Yes.
You could drop your kid off and just let them go to town.
Hell yeah, baby! Kids love water.
What's the wait for this? What's the wait for this lazy river? About 3 hours. All right, kid, I'll pick you up in 5.5. See ya.
Oh, you're not even giving the kid the amount of time he waits in line to play. 3 hours in line, 2.5 hours of play. Those are the rules.
I'll be back.
It's a Saturday afternoon in summer. What do you expect, kid?
Yeah, baby.
You cut through the line.
We don't have enough for
take
the
their
fast.
spot. Look, you got to get out of line. I'm gonna take your spot and finish this up because I don't want your time to be wasted. But I said you only get 2.5 hours here, so hop out.
Get in that lazy river.
I'll be over with Jason Momoa. Leave mommy alone.
What's your third pitch?
My third pitch is also like a themed area. Think like Harry Potter, Star Wars land. But like for this one, I feel like the main appeal of Stargate is that you can like go to different places and you can experience different worlds. So the I guess the gimmick of this one is that it'll have a different theme each season. So for the winter, it'll be the regular Stargate Command, where it'll have holiday decorations. There will be military personnel walking around. You'll get to have like what appears to be basically like military rations in the food area. And then it'll also have kind of like what Justin was describing with the like French cop, like people in the windows. I really want it to have a series of events that happens almost on a loop every hour or half hour, where like you will be sitting there and someone will be like, oh, this thing is happening, and then another person will call out, and you'll like notice that it just keeps happening in honor of the really popular time loop episode Unending in season 10. That was a finale. It was super emotional. People loved it. And so I really want to replicate the time loop by having a series of events with these actors throughout the base continue to do these actions. I think it'll be fun. And then in the spring, you're going to have Planet Chaluk, which is Roman inspired. It was
You're
the base
changing the entire setting of your land every season?
Yeah, every 3 months.
Is it that essentially the base of everything is going to be the same? It's just
Yes, it's
like decorating.
Redressed. Yeah, it's redressed. And
but you're not like taking out the bathrooms and like rebuilding bathrooms. You're just retheming.
Retheming, yes.
Yeah.
So like
that makes
the
sense.
bones will all be the same, but like the facades will shift and things of that sort.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, and then like the actors will like switch clothes with the theme.
The whole section of the park closed for renovation. See you in 2 months.
So spring will be Chaluk, which was the in the first episode where you really get the lowdown about the gold. So you'll have gold soldiers walking around in the
gold or gold soldiers.
Gold.
Yeah.
Summer will be, because summer is the most popular time of year, I would say Abydos, because it is both known from the movie and the shows. And so we'll recreate
also a desert, so it can be hot.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, are people going to want to spend their summer in a desert?
Well, sort of. It'll be desert themed, but like you're going to spend it in the city, the Nagda city, where all the natives of Abydos live. So it'll be covered in the like fabric areas.
I'm just really curious as to how this theming between 4 very different worlds is going to work.
Most of these have like stone bases, basically. So you just make the ground out of like cement with like stone chipped out, or like make it look like a rocky road. And then all you need essentially...
Why would I make it look like ice cream?
Like ice cream. I was going to say that too.
Because it's the best and everyone would want to lick my floors.
Rocky Road is not my favorite flavor of ice cream by a long shot.
It's no one's favorite, but it's the best.
Tauri, why not just have 4 sections, each one with a different theme that plays with a different? Because it's not like there's new seasons of the show coming out at this point. So you could try to get everything you want in each season in like a different little quadrant of a 4-part collective land.
Because I want there to be the appeal of coming at different times. So like
coming 4 times a year.
Right.
Well, 4 times a year, or you're just going to have a super crowded park in the summer, or like in addition to what you would normally have, because everybody's like, well, this is the season or this is the movie.
What exactly is this attraction?
It's a zone. It's a
it is like it's like a scare zone, but not a scare zone.
Oh, it's like a
just like a
marketplace.
zone.
Right. But the fall is a scare zone. So that one will be based on the Wraith from Stargate Atlantis. So you're going to be on the Wraith home planet, also very stony and dead. It's a dead planet, and you'll be able to walk around, and there'll be, like at Hollywood Horror Nights, Wraith kind of like in the area swiping at you, but you also have a maze that you can enter where they appear from all places, and we project. I don't know if you know about the Wraith, but they make people see phantoms and like ghosts and things, so we'll be able to project
creepy.
those around. And yeah, so I think that like it just gives the park a year-round appeal in that like you can come and it'll be a different experience at each time that you come. And it also allows us to integrate some other places that the show has gone, because again, it's really about trying to hit as many locations as you can. So I also have additional themes that, like, if people don't like the Chalak, we could also have a year where the spring is the Norse planet, where they do the Hammer of Thor, or we can also do Tartarus, which is the Anubis home base, stuff like that.
It sounds like you do have a giant park with 4 sections. It's just one of them is open at a time, maybe 2, while the other ones are being renovated for their next opening.
I mean, possibly.
So that like, there's no like lag or downtime.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this season's over, see you in 3 months. It could just be like, cool, this season's done. When it reopens, it'll be awesome. But now we're opening spring and winter.
Right.
And that's these 2 worlds have a fall.
Right.
Yeah, because I think because otherwise you're if you have it as just one land that's swapping out, like it's not gonna be an instantaneous downtime. So you're gonna we finally get a chance to go to the Stargate Park. Oh, I'm so excited, and the land's closed because it's in between seasons. All right, well, I guess I'll go back on the roller coaster
and the water park.
Oh, and the water park.
But yeah, don't forget about water park. Spencer, you have a question?
So you said that the planet's dead, right? Their planet's dead. So like this made me wonder, like, as a serious question, like,
dead.
Are any planets actually living, or is it just the stuff that's what's inside the planets that are living? And this like is like something that I just kind of thought about. And so I was just not sure, like, if describing it as a dead planet would be the best description for that, or if it's just like their planet which ceases to exist or something. I don't know. That was just a thought that I had.
Well, to answer your question, I mean, I think it depends on what your definition of life is. But also, I think it also depends on its ability to maintain life, or if the reactions that are happening on that planet are still happening. So like you could have, so let's take, Jupiter, for example. All of the reactions are still happening on Jupiter, which create the clouds and things of that sort. Or like here on Earth, like if for Earth to be a dead planet, it would have to be able to not sustain life, and also maybe our molten core would have to die out, so it's just a barren, empty planet. So it's more of a planetoid in that like it is a floating rock in space. However, it just isn't housing any life forms.
Well, here's your A+ for philosophy. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's a bummer of a planet.
Yeah, totally.
Jupiter is also my favorite planet, so I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brad, you have an issue? Brad?
No. Justin, do you have any other questions? Don't give Spencer time.
No, I think I've extinguished every thought I have.
Excellent.
Like a fire hose.
Yes.
What?
Or an extinguisher.
Well, I was going to say that, but I didn't want to be so on the nose. I was going to say fire extinguisher, and then I was like, I don't want to be too on the nose, because then what's the point? It's not a joke at that point.
Spencer, back away from your microphone just a little bit.
Oh, I just get so excited, or I'm just talking louder.
You're so
For the topic
talking
you
loud
know
right now.
least
I turned the
about,
gain
they're
down. I turned the gain down too. Fine, I'll use my stage whisper voice. Well, that was actually my stage whisper. Well, when Oliver's not chewing scenery, there's got to be someone to do it, right?
What?
Oh, sorry. I forgot to do my Oliver bit.
All right.
Guys, I work in roller coasters and theme parks, and I'm the authority on this. I could tell you how practical that would be. I mean, the people who give you the money wouldn't finance that thing, but
I've never met him, but he seems like a real class act.
All right. So Justin, we'll recap just the titles of our rides real quick, and then we will jump into our awards. Now, before we recap the titles,
remind me the awards. It's practical, creative.
Spencer, go ahead and describe what the awards are.
Yeah, so the categories are creativity, which, for lack of a better term, is something that is creative. Practicality, which is something that, fits in a theme park, could fit in there today or without too much thought behind it. And then guest favorite, which these are whatever, tickles your funny bone, floats your fancy, gazes your stars, gates your stars, whatever it is, grazes your stars. That's your category to choose.
All right, so let's do a quick recap in order of our rides, just the titles. Spencer, you do not need to say that yours are perfectly creative or practical, just the title.
I mean, we already know though, right? We already know which ones they are.
What are your titles, Spencer?
I have Stargate Water Adventure, a wormhole water coaster, Stargate SG Fun, an improvised stunt show, and Stargraze SG Yum Cafe.
I had Expedition Stargate, the launch coaster, Wrath of Ra stunt show, and then Hunted, my dark ride in a box.
Watch that get first place in favorite.
Right.
Tauri.
I had 7 points, the fastest, tallest roller coaster. I had the Atlantis Water Park, and then I had Stargate Command, the themed area a la Harry Potter Land or Star Wars Land.
I finished my deliberation.
Excellent. So let's jump to our first award. We'll go bronze, silver, then gold. And we'll start with practicality. Justin.
Practicality. Hold on.
What is your bronze?
I had to write tiny little notes next to everything with little P's and C's and F's and then circled numbers, and it looks like a mess. Peas and carrots in bronze position. I have chosen the puddle jumper lazy river attraction in World of Atlantis.
Hell yeah.
Because everybody loves a lazy river, and they're never going to be not popular. 5.5 hours of fun.
For the parents.
Practicality in the second position. Which is silver, if you're paying attention. The 7 points, fastest, highest. I want you to throw up roller coaster.
Yeah.
Tauri, knocking it out of the park, buddy.
Thank you.
Because I like the idea of people getting to actually experience what it's like to go through the Stargate. So well done.
Thank you.
But bringing practicality home with the number 1 position is the Wrath of Ra stunt show.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's simple, and there will always be stunt shows. So I feel like that one's cost effective and easy.
I'll take it. Thank you. I will take the gold with Tauri getting the silver and the bronze. So that brings us to creativity.
Creativity. In the bronze position.
The anticipation is killing me.
Everybody loves a little human smuggling.
Oh my god.
Giving it to the box ride. Only because from a creativity standpoint, the idea of being in like an all black box that you just have a 360 view through slats is intriguing enough that I would ride that ride.
No one would ever think of doing it, so that's why it's so creative.
That's right. It's outside the box.
Or inside the box, if you will.
Creativity. Silver position. I'm also giving it to the 7 points highest, fastest throw up coaster.
Yeah.
Way to go, buddy.
Thank you.
Creativity, first position. Gold status. And this is controversial. I'm giving this to Tauri's Atmosphere Land.
Yes.
And I'll tell you why. I am only giving it to you because of the care you put in to have enough nods to all the nerds that are going to really appreciate that world every time you open it.
Yeah.
All the different worlds, all the different little aspects you were talking about, I think is really going to tickle a lot of nerd penises. And so I give you creativity number 1.
Thank you.
Way to go.
Tickling nerd penises is what I strive for.
Yeah. Oliver would be proud.
All right, that leaves us to guest favorite. So this is
guest favorite. Here we go. Coming in bronze is Stargate SG Fun.
Yeah. On the
board. Less for the fights and more for the puns. Yeah. It sounds like a lot of good times. So there you go. Fan favorite coming in silver is once again Haunted Atlantis.
Oh
you cannot deny me my dark sensibilities.
I for sure thought it was going to be gold.
No, for fan favorite, and maybe it's because it just tugged at familiar strings, it's going to the Wrath of Ra stunt show.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I'll take it.
Because it's the one I can see most clearly in my head, and I'm having a good time sitting there watching it.
All right. So you have a good time watching it, and then you'll get smuggled away in a box.
What a perfect theme park. Today I watched violence and embraced human smuggling.
Oh, well, thank you so much for being on our episode, Justin. Before we go, do you have anything that you would like to pitch or say?
No. I have nothing going on. Black Lives Matter. Stop beating up Asian people. Be good to each other.
All right. With that said, this has been another episode of Theoretical Thrills. Thank you again, Justin, for joining us. I've been Brad.
I'm Spencer.
And I'm Tauri Oliver.
And I was
Justin.
Did you enjoy the episode you just watched? Feel free to like, subscribe, and share. And if you have an interpretation of an idea based on the theme of the week, feel free to tag us on social media with hashtag Theoretical Thrills, and we may feature your ride and attraction on the show.
Theoretical Thrills, the theory of the thrill.